I have only been transitioning from male to female for 3 years, so my experience is probably very limited compared to
a
someone
lot of
who's been
people.
transitioning for decades. So that's something I always like to try and remind myself as well, that I don't have this plethora of knowledge and life experience that many other trans women who lived through the 80s and 90s and who lived in a far worse time than I did. So it's just something I always try and remind myself as well. So I think talking about really intense topics like that. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexis Blake.
And I'm Liam Blake.
And this is episode 27
of the Blake Debate.
Woo! This is our podcast. We're a couple. I'm a trans woman. We met as two gay men, and you all know the story.
You all
by
know
now, hopefully.
You all know the story by now. Unless someone is just randomly tuning into episode 27.
Then you've learned something about me today. Very personal. Welcome and hello. So let's dive right into what we got to dive into. So
we're going to dive into what we're diving into.
We're going to dive into what we're going to dive into.
Do you know what? I can't get my head around that it's episode 27.
I know. Well, we've been doing it nearly a year.
Well, I think it's been a year now.
A year of the Blake debate.
That is just unbelievable.
I know. We've just chat for a whole year.
I will have to blur it out, but
sorry.
Happy New Year, everybody, by the way.
Happy New Year.
We didn't film a podcast over Christmas just because we were so busy.
Well, it's Christmas. Everyone's relaxing. You're eating, you're drinking, you're seeing family and friends. I'm more tired after Christmas with all the busyness that Christmas is.
We had so much stuff going on. We had like family things planned. I just launched my YouTube, which I probably did
very well. I'm very proud of you.
Which
it's very
it is
good.
doing very well, actually. But I launched my own YouTube, which I probably launched at the worst time. Well, the worst time for busyness.
That's just you, though. That's just you. You pick the worst times to do anything
but
like that.
I think it was the best time for eyes on it, but it was the worst time in terms of busyness. So that's the whole thing. So that's going really well. So give me a little subscribe if you don't mind.
We'll put him below. You'll link him in the description. Well, you'll link yourself in the description
it's already
box
linked.
below.
I've already been linked.
Have you already been doing
I've
that?
had a YouTube for years. I haven't actually put any content on there, but yeah, I've done that now, and it's a gaming and tech themed channel. So if you like your PlayStations, you like your PC, stuff like that, come check me out.
So New Year's Eve, we went to see an amazing drag show in Haworth.
No, babe, it was Farsley. In Farsley.
Are you sure?
100% in Farsley.
Oh.
It was called Glamour.
You might have to beep that out, you know. I don't know. Can you say? Oh, like a kissy. You could say like a cat, like meow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll do
I don't
that.
know.
It was called Glamour. And basically, it was almost like a real life RuPaul's.
It was
lip sync
amazing.
For your life, wasn't
it was loads of different drag queens doing loads of different numbers. I had M&Ms poured into my mouth at one point. It was so fun, but we were so tired.
Well, there was that woman who, because there was a couple of women in the as drag queens as well, which was really cool.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
And there was one woman, and literally, like, she was dancing about 3 feet away from it, and then I noticed that I could see like her boobies.
You could fall yeah.
Everything was out, and I was like, where do I look? Where do I look? Where do I look?
Literally, though, I looked at Liam at 11 p.m. and I'm like, if it weren't New Year's Eve, we'd be going home.
We'd have snuck off. We were absolutely
We don't
knackered.
normally go out, though, do we, for New Year's? We just wanted to do something different. It was so much fun. We spent it with a couple of our friends as well. We had an amazing night, so thank you for inviting us.
Well, that's the thing. We don't get invited many places.
No,
so when we do get invited, we're like, right,
we have to go.
We've got to go.
It was good. It was good fun.
But we're all in bed cuddling the cat by half 12.
Yeah, literally. At like 9 minutes past 12, we were out that door. Literally straight away.
What else? Biggie says hi, everybody. No. Biggie says hi. He's so squishy. Also, since the last podcast, I've been streaming live on TikTok 5 nights a week. So I go live at 8 o'clock 5 nights a week with one of my friends, Nathan, and we stream till early hours. And we're just playing games.
You scream so loud.
What do you mean? You're asleep. You're like this in bed.
No, I'm not. So on a Friday night, I've started to go live on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm young and trendy now.
Alexis got 4 more, so she started going live as well.
I've done it a couple of times, around 8 o'clock on Fridays on my TikTok. And we have a few drinks. We just chat rubbish, basically. But people who are watching my live were commenting, Alexis, can you tell Liam to quiet down? You were so loud, they could hear you through 2 rooms.
Well, I do get very passionate when I'm gaming. And I've got obviously my followers and everyone in the chat. And I'm just like having a laugh and try to entertain everyone.
I have to now apologise at the start of it.
If you can hear Liam in the background.
If you can hear Liam, I apologise. He's just gaming. He's not smashing his head against the wall, because that's what it sounds like.
So it's been absolutely mental these past couple of weeks. Like, this is probably the longest we've gone without filming a podcast.
Well, we do have jobs and stuff.
Yeah,
don't we?
we've got jobs. God, everything's just, you know what, it's like a good busy. It's like a good busy though. It keeps us.
But it's trying to keep that balance as well, isn't it? Because I think it's so easy I lost that balance a bit before Christmas. I was going like 100% with my big girl job, as I call it. And then I was going like 100% with the social media stuff, and then I was burning out. So when I had that break, I got conjunctivitis, I got the flu, and I was just laying on the sofa.
You literally took a break from all and got poorly.
I was talking about this with some friends the other day, when you're going so fast and hard, and then you finally stop and sit down.
Hard.
Liam, no need for that kind of language. When you finally stop.
All right, don't sound disgusted.
No, I'm not disgusted. When you finally stop and have a breather, that's when your body's like, right, let's get this chill. I've sworn too many times.
You swore on your new video as well.
Did I?
I had to blank that
What
out
did I
as well.
say?
You said the naughty word.
What naughty word?
The naughty word.
What's
Because the hat fell off the wall. I'm going to insert the clip here because it's really funny.
In their own skin receives. What the?
You've been swearing a lot lately.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Probably me when I'm on my lives and I'm screaming at the top of my voice.
Maybe that's why I'm picking it up. I'm not like that at work. I have to be professional at work.
Well, you've got to be on like.
Well, I tried to be anyway. Funny story, it was the 28th or 29th of December. I got in this mad rush. I'm like, right, the Christmas decorations have to come down right now. I was throwing them in the boxes frantically. I just wanted them up in the loft.
I was working, luckily.
And then you came back. And then I made you help me put them in the loft.
Oh.
And then a snow globe fell out of a bag for life from the loft down the ladder and hit me on the head and go over my forehead.
It hit her on the head and it made her like a proper.
It was like
donk.
a cartoon bonk.
And immediately, like, she looks at me and I'm like, I heard it and I saw it and I thought that must have hurt. Anyway, she's ploughing through. She's not bothered.
I carried on putting the stuff in the loft because I'd not finished.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I said, babe, can you just stop a minute? Let me have a look at your head. And it had split the head. It had actually split her head open. Only about maybe 2 centimetres.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was physically open. I said, babe, that's going to need stitches. Nah, it'll be fine.
No, it was a Sunday. It was my last Sunday before going back to work after 9 days off. I was like, I'm not spending my Sunday in A&E, so you went and got me some butterfly stitches.
So at first she was like, I'm not going to hospital, I'm not having stitches, and I'm literally
laughed at me.
No, they wouldn't, because I'm holding the cut and I'm closing it and letting go, and it's open, and you could see inside a little bit.
Right.
Sorry, but I said we're gonna have to do something, because otherwise it'll scar. Because effectively, if that skin's not closed, the scar tissue will have to build up in the middle and just create a big scar. So she was like, "Well, what we're gonna do?" I said, "I'll go get you some butterfly. What they call butterfly. I call them butterfly stitches, but they're like little
things.
Sticky. Yeah,
it's done. Look at it though now.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
so I had to go get them and come back and play Dr. Blake.
You did a good job, though.
I had to do Dr. Blake, but now, you can. It's a really fine line.
Thank you.
But I couldn't believe it. Oh.
Do you know what? I love this top, right? But there's a few downsides to it.
You can't breathe.
Well, I can't breathe in many night-out tops. But it's also crushing to my chest.
Your booby bags.
And I can't move too much in it because it could just go at any moment, any second.
Well, if it happens, I'll just censor it.
Keep the whole video.
I'll just put like a pixelated.
Love it.
One of them, when they're hiding, when they show like the pixelated things. Do you remember?
I'll
put one of them on.
So I've been off work for like 9 days just before I went back just now.
9 days with me.
So Liam works from home a lot, editing and stuff. So we've been spending more time together, which has been great. I mean.
That sounds really sarcastic.
Are you all right?
I've had my lemsip. My lemsip. That sounded very sarcastic.
I meant it with love. But one thing I have noticed is, since we've both been in the house together and like moving around, and do you know what I mean? Like we've both been in very close proximity for a lot of period of time.
Why is this building up to it?
It's not building up to anything. I've just noticed a few more traits that lend itself to your ADHD diagnosis.
Like what?
Leaving cupboards open constantly, shoes on the floor, never taking the bin out. I don't know if that's an ADHD thing or if it's a man thing. Really.
Shoes on the floor? Where do you want
everywhere?
On the ceiling?
No, on the shoe rack where they go. I constantly am picking them shoes up on the shoe rack, and I tell you every single
time.
Why
are you picking them up off the shoe rack? I thought you said you wanted them on the shoe rack.
Make
your mind up, girl.
I love it. But you have some exciting news now.
Do I?
You're starting your medication.
Oh, yes. So it's been a long journey to officially get diagnosed with ADHD. Family and friends for many, many years, they've always said, Liam, you have ADHD.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
But I've been through, what do you call it? I've been through all them
The
things.
hoops.
I've been through all the hoops to get assessed for it, and I've finally been diagnosed with it. But it wasn't just a case of getting diagnosed and then there's your pills, there's your medication. They had to talk me through the types of medication. I've had to monitor my blood pressure. I've had to monitor my weight. I've had to monitor my heart rate and all these things. Anyway, finally, I've received my medication. So I'm going to be starting that tomorrow. I'm nervous though, you know.
Well, it's a very low dose though. You're not going straight in with the high dose.
I have to take the medication as instructed for 2 weeks, and after that I double the dosage.
Yeah, so just see how you go.
But it's just I mean, anybody who has ADHD, please comment below who's on medication.
How did you find the first few weeks? I think that's what's... Because I remember when I spoke to it...
Misaclyrichloride, something like that.
But I think my friend who did the medication said the first couple of weeks, like, you get, like, hot flushes and, like, your body's just adjusting to any new medication. So it might take a bit of adjustment, but I think...
I just don't want it to affect my sleep because I'm not sleeping well at the moment.
I think I'm hopefully in the long run it'll make you sleep better.
Yeah.
No?
It's just at the moment, like, with... Because I can never switch off. So, like, I work from home.
Pew.
So I do all the...
That's me switching you off.
So I do all the social media editing, I do all the thumbnails, I do all the emails, I do all the collaborations, the business side of it.
1 minute. I think my nipple's coming out.
I do all that, and then obviously I fit time in to go to my normal job. I also fit time to try and have some form of normalcy in social life. And I'm a big gamer, so I spend a lot of time gaming, but 9 out of 10 times I'll be like, right, I'm going to go game, and then I sit at my desk, try to figure out which game to play, and by the time I've decided, I'm like, it's bedtime.
Time to do something else.
Yeah, or I'll get distracted and I'll be like, oh, I could just finish that thumbnail, so then I'll go do it. Rather than being like, no, work is over.
You need to
do everything.
I've told you this, you need to get like a whiteboard for the wall and do like an actual schedule for the day. Like, start at 8 a.m, do this for 2 hours, do that, have a lunch break, go for a walk, do this and that, and you need to structure
I know,
it.
I do. The thing is with structure, it's like it works for me. Like when Alexis says to me, Liam, I want you to do X, Y, Z.
He'll do it, no complaints.
And she'll do it if it's if you instructionalize it in a that kind of way, I'll do it. But if she leaves me to my own devices and says, if you get a chance, could you do these things, and then don't write me a list, I'm like...
Yeah, well, yeah. And it's not infuriating at all, I'll be honest.
Or when I cook you dinner and I leave every cupboard door open.
Every single time. Every single time.
I don't even notice I'm doing it though, like downstairs
I've never
today.
known anyone... I'm jumping in and I'm cutting you off because I've never known anyone who can make a little, like a cheese sandwich and it looks like a full Sunday roast has been cooked in the kitchen. I don't know how you do it. Like 17 pots and pans just to grill some cheese on toast.
I don't know how to do it, and I don't realise I'm doing it at the time. I think I'm being tidy and neat, and I get this, that, and I get that, and then when I look back after 10 minutes, every cupboard door is open.
I say this with love. How can you think you are tidy and neat when you cook?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm starting my ADHD medication tomorrow, so watch this space.
Fingers crossed.
There is... Oh no, I'll leave that till later.
Something I have noticed on a few videos, and I do get these comments sometimes, it's something I kind of want to address. Why we or I don't talk about American politics. I see things going on, I have social media, I read articles, I know what is going on in the world. There's a few reasons why we don't dig into it really. So the first reason I think is one, we don't live there.
No.
We're not under that government. We live in the UK, so I have covered topics that surround trans issues in the UK before with our government.
We've not gone into like exceptional detail.
Even with that now.
With that though, and the thing is with American politics as well. If you want that kind of content, there's content creators out there that cover it who know what they are talking about in all aspects. We're not educated enough in that kind of area.
Hold my hands up. 100%. I do not know enough about the left and the right, Trump and everyone else,
to
talk
not
about
the details, no.
No, and I would never want to spread misinformation about something as serious as politics.
That's the main thing in it for you. Like it's
spreading misinformation.
You've done before where you've got things wrong and you've obviously addressed it and you've
apologised, which I always would do. Someone emailed me once. I'm sure it was an email or a comment, and someone said, I love that you don't cover politics because no matter how much research you do, how much you know, how much you watch and listen to, you will always get something wrong and someone will troll you and tell you and bring you down. And I think it's just, if I lived in America, maybe I would be more inclined. And I know that there's stuff going on there that I don't necessarily agree with, but it's just not my channel. It's not my vibe. It's not my thing. And if there was something really serious or I felt passionate enough, to do it, I would. There's so many other content creators who know a lot more than me, who can do a lot better of a job than me, who can talk about it much more authentically and truthfully.
Do you know what?
Educatedly.
The main thing I want to put across. People do look up to Alexis and they do. I read it all. They do. But I think some people sometimes get a little bit mixed up because we're not activists. We're not paving the way for new things. Do you know what I mean? Like you do. I
never set out to be a trans activist, and I think trans activists. That label in itself has a bad rep.
Well, it's not. Yeah, but that's not why you do.
But it's not something I actively go out and do. No, it's just something that I'm hoping to do with the things that I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like you're a trans woman who shares her life stories and opinions on social media. That's what you're about. And so when people come to your content, that's what they expect to get. You are a trans woman who shares her life, her normal life. You know, your stories, you're going to work, we're getting married, we're buying houses, I'm on medication, we have a little Blake debate show, but we're not activists. We're not going to, major, what's the word? We're not trying to shift the narrative of everything like single-handedly. We do our best to obviously cover things and show people.
We'll dip our toes into different topics for sure and
does that make sense?
Things, but we're not like an educational channel either. Like my channel and our podcast, it's not
officially educational.
But we're just giving opinions. So it's a hard one. I understand why people might want to see me talk about it, and it's a very important thing, and I understand that. And what's going on is very important.
Alexis sometimes gets emails from educational bodies, and they want to use her content for educational purposes. And a lot of the time, Alexis says that is fine as long as it is implemented in there somewhere that this is her opinion, depending on the subjects. It's not. It shouldn't always be taken. It shouldn't be taken as absolute fact because at the end of the day, your experience and your opinion you're giving on this matter is exactly that. It's yours.
One thing I do want to add as well, and I've seen a few comments before and emails about it, which I appreciate. I'm still what some would say a baby trans woman. I've only been
Oh, right, okay.
Hear me out. So, I have only been transitioning from male to female for 3 years. So, my experience is probably very limited compared to someone who's been transitioning for decades. So, that's something I always like to try and remind myself as well, that I don't have this plethora of knowledge and life experience that many other trans women who lived through the 80s and 90s and who lived in a far worse time than I did. So it's just something I always try and remind myself as well. So I think talking about really intense topics like that, there is better people than me. That's as honest as that is. It's time for our agony aunt section now. That's why I have the laptop. So we do have an email address, which is
the.blake.debate@gmail.com.
If you would like to ask us any questions, it doesn't have to be about us or a transition. If you want to ask us some advice or anything like that, please drop us an email to that email. We do read them all. Do not worry. So one we are going to answer today. Were you just doing it on the screen? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
All right, I get it. Okay.
I'll try to anyway.
So from Ian.
Hi, Ian.
We'll pop the whole thing on, but I'm just going to read the question out. So this is for the two of you, although more for Liam. Sorry, Alexis, no worry, hon. After Liam's family accepted him for being gay and in a relationship with a man, how do they feel now that their son is in a relationship with a woman, trans or not? Alexis has class. I didn't read this bit. Sorry. Trans or not, Alexis has class, evokes femininity and the right amount of don't brass me off. I get that. Thank you. That was so lovely, but I think the main point of the question is...
Are you out of body or eyes? Why don't you...
I've not got my glasses on. After Liam's family accepted him for being gay, how do they feel now their son is in a relationship with a trans woman?
Yeah, got it.
That's the question. Thank you, Ian.
To be honest, well, so first of all, when Alexis came out to me as being transgender, the first person I rang was my mum, obviously, and she was literally like, "What do we call you then?" And I was like, "It's Alexis," and she was like, "Cool." That was it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like,
Your mum's very liberal, though, as a
my
woman.
mum's just chill, man. She's
just chill, man.
She's just chill. When I was having my ups and downs, and because obviously when Alexis came out as trans, I was not in the best place mentally. I was having some mental health issues and stuff. So when I was having my low dips and stuff, I did. Oh, I thought. Oh, thanks. I thought you was grabbing me.
No, I was stroking you.
When I rang my mum, I did obviously break down to my mum a few times about everything, because everything.
It all built up.
All built up.
I was a cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah, but it wasn't negative or positive. It was just another thing that on my plate at the time. But my mum was cool with it. She's never remotely been kind of bothered about those things. Like my mum, when I've never met my real dad, my biological father. I've never met him, but he was a biker. So he was like a proper. He was a biker, like a Harley Davidson, big, all that. I mean, my mum was a bit of a rock chick.
Was she?
Yeah, she
I
was
love that, Nikki. Get in there.
My mum had on my weekend at one point.
I love that.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but that kind of, when I've ever been around those kind of people, they tend to be quite, like accepting, open-minded
to anyone, really.
Yeah. In regards to Alexis being a trans woman, like my friends or family, none of them didn't change. Oh, it was no different than they were before.
I think it just took time to get used to, but that's the same for anyone. It was the same for my family and friends. It was a new name, new pronouns, a new person, not what is, if you know what I mean. So it just took time.
To be fair, my friends and family were the ones that misgendered you or misnamed you the least. I was the one that
to be fair, though,
got it wrong.
When I came out, we'd not even been dating a year. Like, they've known Alexis far longer than they ever knew.
I mean, it might as well have been a year, babe. It was literally like 3 weeks out of being a year.
But yeah, I hope that answered your question, Ian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If anyone wants to ask us anything or ask for any advice or agony aunt stuff, please email the.blake.debate@gmail.com.
It doesn't have to be agony aunt. We just kind of wanted to try put a new spin on that bit,
Spice things up,
Yeah, interesting. So second question is from Rosemary, so thank you very much. And she says, amongst her emails, she says, do you feel a kind of pressure to try and fight against the stereotype of both what and how a trans woman is like, and both what and how a woman is like in the eyes of society?
Oh gosh, I'll try and skim over the basics. So social media sometimes paints trans women one of two ways. You have the outrageous ones that don't give trans women a good name. And then on the flip side of that, you have these hyper femme, beautiful trans women with long blonde hair and long nails.
Other hair colours are available.
Well, you know what I mean, though. They've had lots and lots of surgery, which I'm not ever going to put anyone down for. Like, everyone's transition is what they've got to do it for them, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
But I think all the surgeries to look beautiful. Vanity is not exclusive to trans.
No.
Genderism.
What I'm saying is, I have felt the pressure of getting as many surgeries as possible to look as super feminine as possible. I've almost had other surgeries that I think I would have later regretted, like a BBL. I almost booked that, and then I was like, I don't really need it. I don't care that much for an hourglass figure. Like, I'm not that bothered, and it's just...
I think the risk was quite high.
It's trying to remember in my brain what is the actual me thinking I need this for my dysphoria, or what is social media telling me I need. I think that's a very dangerous path to go down. And then society, I don't really know. I think there's a wide variety of lots of different types of trans people. So I just sort of try and do me, stay in my lane, and just go forward.
It's like in some cultures around the world, like for example, a woman having hairy armpits is considered like sexy and feminizing, whereas in some cultures, like in our all our friends and stuff, all our female friends, they don't have big hairy armpits, and it's like, I suppose in a way you shave your armpits more because you are a trans woman now, and you maybe indirectly.
Well, I have had them lasered off, babe. I'm bald from the eyebrows down.
You don't have any hair there, but
I'm like a dolphin.
Different countries. Standards of beauty are different.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe if we lived in a different country, you might feel less or more pressure
Yeah.
to...
It's really hard.
What does it mean when your nose is itchy? It's proper itchy. It's doing me head in.
I just try and not look at other trans women's journeys as much, because when I do that and I fall into like a rabbit hole of like how incredible they look, and I'm on my own journey and I'm happy with where I am. So.
That's like me whenever I open Instagram up, I'm literally showed one of two things: gaming related posts, and it's topless men with massive muscles in the gym.
What you say?
Well, they're not always topless. I mean, they're always...
I'm joking.
No, but it's always before and after photos of muscly men, because obviously...
your algorithm shows you what you what do you say? You're responsible?
You're responsible for your own algorithm. So I do train and go to the gym, and I do a lot of... I've started up with my PT again now. Hopefully I am going to get fitter again for summer. That's always ever shows me, because that's all I ever look at. Is
when you search, so it will just show you what you look at.
But when I look at that, it makes me sometimes feel like inadequate. Like I look at those pictures of men, like big muscly... Can I have my hand back, please?
No, I want to
that
hold
way.
your hand.
Yeah, but you were doing it in a way that was like...
Why?
My arm was just
hold
weird.
my hand.
I'm holding your hand. It's
You've
there.
not seen
Look,
me
proof. I'm holding it. Oh.
You elbowed my boob.
I feel the pressure that I aren't perfect, like these pictures.
You are perfect to me.
But it does. Men suffer with that too, though. Men suffer with it. And
do you know what my algorithm shows me? And
dogs and cats.
I've purposefully done it. I only watch dog and cat videos now, and that's all it shows me.
Yeah, I know, because all you ever send me, I get 5 videos a day of funny cat. I
love it. I saw a video today, we'll finish it here because this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. She had a security camera and she got an alert on her phone while she was away, like out the house, saying, there's an intruder in your house. So she went on the camera like, someone's broken into my house. The cat was sat on the automatic vacuum, just coming around like this in the dark. You just saw his cat eyes ping in the dark. And it was sat, it was so funny. I sent it you.
Did you?
Yeah, I sent it you.
I don't watch anything.
That's what I was looking at on my lunch break.
I'm too busy to watch them.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll call it there. It's probably been quite a long one. I can't tell. I never know with these things.
Yeah, well, we've got to give the viewers what they want. A lot of you ask for longer content, so we'll see. But when I've edited it, it might be a little nippier than it is now.
Well, don't say that.
Not nippier. If you like this kind of content, guys, please like, subscribe, and tick that notification box for notifications that may or may not appear.
You stole my line.
No, I didn't.
Was it my line or your
That's
line?
my line. You've got your own YouTube to do.
You've got your own YouTube to do.
Yes, I do, and my YouTube's doing better than yours at the moment.
It's not a competition, Liam. Anyway, thank you. Goodbye.
Wait.
What?
I'm going to do this now.
I'm going.
No, stay. So I got it bought for Christmas from my good friend Beth. So it lights up and I've got to stick all these little pins in it. So me and Biggie are going to go do that now.
No, you've got to cook dinner.
After that.
Okay.
Can I do it after?
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Wait, what am I saying thank you for?
I don't know, you weirdo.